I think it's really important that just like when you go to the doctor, you won't get one solution from the doctor, and you usually get a collection of different things that you should try out. So go for a walk and drink some more water and take these prescriptions. And I think that's for everything that we try to do to make the workplace better, it's a similar mindset that we should adopt. So it's not going to be one solution, and instead it's going to be a collection of different solutions. The first solution that I would say that you may want to try out is at an individual level. And this is just more about people taking ownership, being more aware as to their environment, their teams that they're operating in, educating themselves, really. And this is where you are literally the master of your own fate. Educate yourself, get that book from Amazon, Diversify, who you follow on LinkedIn and on social media. What was really interesting that came as a result of Black Lives Matter back when we were in the middle of lockdown was people who decided to diversify their feeds and not realizing that there are awesome people of color who are doing some great stuff, not just in tech, but in other industries, but they wouldn't have known that if they didn't diversify their feeds. Turn your social media platforms into a rainbow of collection of different experiences. And LinkedIn is also one of them. If you notice that predominantly of your feed and the people who you follow seem to all share a same background with regards to the school they went to, the background they have, just spend an afternoon and look up people in your industry that look different to you and follow them. That might lead to some interesting conversations and insights. At a team level, I think it's really about harnessing conversations. So as an agile coach, I love using vehicles like retrospectives to harness certain conversations, because not everything is always about work. But if there are people who have opted in to have conversations around the culture of your team, create a safe space so that these conversations can produce some really fruitful discussions and change within the team itself. This one is really about the data that you start to gather at an organizational level. Not naming or shaming, but I know quite a handful of pretty well-known startups, but also corporates who their diversity data is just limited to gender. So they really don't know much about their people other than male or female or non-binary and everything else in between. It's such a shame, because that is such a useful opportunity just to get a richer picture about just the people that you have in your business. Because eventually what we can do with that data, which brings me to the fourth point, is we can start to diagnose and strategize with intent. At a leadership level, if we can look at the data and we can diagnose like a doctor that something isn't right in a particular area, we start to be more focused and we start to act like a sniper and less like an AK-47 shooting initiatives left, right, and center that seem to bring more damage and harm than good. The main thing is that if we don't have the data, we can't act like that sniper and like that doctor who is really trying to detect a specific problem and therefore deploy a set of ways where we can solve it.